Anthropic just gave Claude the ability to control your Mac. We're talking clicking buttons, opening applications, executing tasks while you step away from your desk. That is AI moving from answering questions to actually doing the work. Plus, OpenAI just killed Sora after spending millions on development. And the AI skills gap is creating real winners and losers in your workplace right now. Let me break down what matters for your business. Welcome to AI in Business. I'm James Anderson, and this is your weekly AI news roundup. Every week, I condense the biggest AI stories into what actually matters for your business. No jargon, no hype, just what you need to know to stay ahead. Let's get into it. First up, OpenAI is shutting down Sora, the AI video generation tool, which launched with massive hype 6 months ago. They are killing the standalone app, the API, and the entire platform. It hit 1 million downloads in its first week. Disney pledged $1 billion for content partnerships, but it never found real traction for actual business needs. It was expensive, plagued by deepfake and copyright issues, and most businesses could not see clear ROI on it. Also, it was kind of a little bit creepy and weird. The honest answer is Sora looked good in the headlines, but it failed to solve real business problems. OpenAI is shifting focus to enterprise solutions and robotic research instead. If you are evaluating AI tools for your business, I would definitely look at some off-the-shelf models just to test the water with first, see if they can potentially work in your business, or alternatively, develop your own internal tools. This is what we recommend on this channel. You can develop fit-for-purpose tools that you can run offline, or you can run on an open source language model, control your data, and also avoid situations like this where your business might have been reliant on this particular feature or product, and now it's finished. When a vendor pivots away from a product, you lose access. Your workflows break, your data might be stuck, and that costs you money. Anthropic has launched the most ambitious consumer AI agent to date. They have given Claude the ability to directly control your Mac. Clicking buttons, open applications, typing in fields, navigating software on your behalf while you step away. This is available as a research preview to paying customers right now through the Claude desktop app and Claude Code. Here is the thing. This transforms Claude from a conversational assistant into something closer to a remote digital operator. It can do repetitive tasks that eat up your day. Think about what that actually means for your business. An AI that can open your CRM, pull up customer records, draft emails, update spreadsheets, all without you sitting at the keyboard. Kinda scary, but kinda cool. And the race to build AI agents that actually do work is accelerating. OpenAI, Anthropic, Google, they're all moving fast. For your business, AI is moving from answering questions to executing tasks. And I really think this is the future of AI. And we are super early in the cycle here. If you have processes that follow clear rules, an agent could handle them today. But, and this is crucial, you need to think about security. Giving an AI tool control over your computer means it has access to everything. Your data, your accounts, everything on your machine. Strong permissions, clear boundaries on what the agent can and can't do, and don't hand it full access from day one. I mean, it's just common sense, isn't it? Start with some low risk tasks and watch how it behaves, then expand if it works. Now, I've been playing about with Claude Cowork over the past week, and I've been getting involved in the project side of things. And what I've been doing is I've actually been connecting Claude Cowork to my local ERP that I've custom made for my business. I'm going to do a video on this later this week because I personally think this is the route forward. So make sure you subscribe to the channel so you can see more content about this. The next story is a wake-up call for business owners. Anthropic released their 5th economic impact report. The AI skills gap is here now, not in the distant future. Earlier adopters of AI tools are pulling further ahead as they develop, deeper competency, while new users are struggling to catch up. Here is the number that matters. Anthropic CEO Dario Amodei estimates AI could eliminate half of all entry-level white-collar jobs within 5 years. For your business, this is not about replacing your staff, as we always say. It's about the gap between businesses training their teams to use AI effectively and those that are not. And that gap is widening fast. The research shows that tasks that can be auto-tested, like bug fixing and maths-heavy work, advance faster with AI. This creates a bit of a two-tier workforce. One tier develops AI competency and becomes more productive. The other tier gets left behind. If you've not started experimenting with AI in your business yet, you've come to the right place. But please note, your competitors probably have. Start small, low risk, but start. Spend a couple hours this month getting your team to use Claude or ChatGPT. Buy them a subscription each and get them to test on something real. Obviously, not super sensitive data, not financial stuff, but something like marketing, LinkedIn posts, social posts. All these sort of things are really easy, low-level things to test in the business using some off-the-shelf frontier AI models. And get your team to see what works, see where it breaks, and build some muscle memory before you need it. Obviously, make sure that you're checking everything. We're not posting live things straight away to LinkedIn. Get them to test it, create some drafts, and then you can review it and see what the quality's like. Quick hits now. A Los Angeles jury found Meta and Google negligent in a landmark social media addiction trial. $6 million in damages, $3 million compensatory, and $3 million punitive. The jury was nearly unanimous at 10-2. Meta paid 70%, Google paid 30%. What makes this particularly significant is the jury saw internal Meta documents showing the company knew its platforms were addictive for teenagers and used those findings to boost engagement anyways. Snapchat and TikTok settled before trial, maybe a smart move. Then the day after this verdict, a New Mexico jury ordered Meta to pay $375 million for Instagram predator issues. Why this matters for your business? If you're building any customer-facing app or digital product, the design choices you make today could become legal liabilities tomorrow. Ethical UX is not optional. It's not something you just bolt on the end. If your product is designed to exploit user psychology, you are building a legal landmine, and that will cost you later on, so be aware. Bernie Sanders and AOC proposed a nationwide ban on new AI data centers until Congress passes comprehensive AI regulation. As I mentioned in the last episode, AI regulation is on the horizon. It's happening in the EU, it's happening in the UK, it's happening in the US, it's going to be happening globally. So you need to make sure that you're staying ahead for your business and ensuring you're operating within, at the moment, common sense guardrails. More than 230 organizations called for a federal moratorium. Over a dozen states have pending statewide legislation. Here is their honest assessment. This faces significant congressional hurdles and is not going to affect your ability to use AI tools anytime soon. But it does tell you something important. As I mentioned, AI regulation is coming. It's not a maybe. Regulation is moving from discussion to action, so plan accordingly. Do not assume the regulatory landscape of 2025 will be the regulatory landscape of 2027. Start thinking about data governance, model transparency, and compliance frameworks now. Even if these specific proposals fail, others will pass. So make sure, if you want to stay on top of that sort of thing, subscribe to this channel, because we're going to be covering all the development in regulatory frameworks in future episodes. Waymo robotaxis are relying on firefighters and police to bail them out during emergencies. TechCrunch documented 6 instances where first responders had to physically move Waymo vehicles. In Austin alone, robotaxis illegally stopped school buses 19 times. The NTSB opened investigations. A CHP officer had to drive a robotaxi to a park and ride. Incidents across Austin, Atlanta, Nashville, and on the highway. The lesson remains the same. There is a meaningful difference between AI that works in normal conditions and AI that works in all conditions. Autonomous vehicles perform well on clear days with visible road markings. They struggle when it comes to rain, snow, complex intersections, and unusual situations. So make sure, like with robotaxis, you try and keep humans in the loop or extensively test for anything critical. If your business uses any autonomous systems, do not assume they work perfectly. It works well most of the time, but that is different from all of the time. Meta has just launched Meta Small Business, an initiative to build AI-powered tools across Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp for small businesses. This is a really interesting move. The tools in the pipeline include an AI business assistant for optimization and WhatsApp business AIs that handle customer inquiries. They tested the WhatsApp business AI in Mexico and the Philippines with over 1 million weekly conversations. The AI business assistant was tested in Q4 2025, and if you're already spending money on Meta ads, it's worth mentioning as these tools roll out. The opportunity here is the automation of customer support on WhatsApp, which could reduce your support team workload. But make sure, as we discussed on the last episode, C is for chatbots, you make sure you test it carefully. These are early tools and do not assume they will work perfectly out of the box. MIT Technology Review published a piece on agentic commerce. The concept is simple. Instead of AI giving you a list of links, an AI agent actually execute purchases for you. Book a trip, compare suppliers, handle procurement. Amazon's Rufus AI is already shopping alongside users. Google's AI mode enables agentic checkout. The adoption curve is steep. Traditional AI took 8 years to reach 72% adoption. Agentic AI has hit 35% in just 2 years. 58% of businesses now are ecosystem driven compared to just 12% in 2013. If you run retail or e-commerce, start thinking about whether your product data is clean enough for an AI agent to work with. And that means consistent product descriptions, accurate pricing, clear inventory. If your data is messy, an AI agent will surface that mess to your customers. If your data is clean, an agent makes you more discoverable and easier to buy from. And I strongly recommend that you revisit your websites and make sure your data is available, organized, and ready for semantic search on large language models. Spotify is testing a new tool called Artist Profile Protection to stop AI generated tracks from being attributed to real artists. I don't know about you, but it's been quite interesting in the spate of AI generated music on YouTube. Some of it's pretty cool, some of it just sounds a bit weird, but it seems like Spotify are trying to vet and manage this so it doesn't flood their platform. Sony Music Group alone has flagged over 75,000 fraudulent tracks last year. If your business relies on creative output, expect more tools like this across all platforms. Platforms are starting to take AI content quality seriously. If you are using AI to generate content for your business, I would recommend to document it. Be transparent about it. And this is the direction all platforms are moving. What is acceptable today might not be acceptable in 2 years, so be aware. One to watch this week. Talat is a new Mac app that does AI meeting notes, but it keeps everything locally on your machine, not in the cloud. It captures audio from Zoom, Teams, or Meet calls, transcribes it in real time, and generates summaries with key points and action items. All of it happens locally. No subscription, no one-time fee, which is what we love. It was created by a developer seeking an alternative to granola, which is currently valued at $1.5 billion. Talat supports Llama for local AI models and exports directly to Obsidian. If you don't know what these are, go and do a bit of research because both of them are really interesting. We use Obsidian within the business. We have that connected up to a large language model, and we use it for managing documentation and the front value. We plug Google Drive basically into the back end of it. Obsidian's also open source and free to use, so I'll definitely have a look at that, and I'll do some videos about that later on. For your business, this is really interesting because if you handle sensitive client meetings or financial conversations, the local first approach means your data stays completely under your control, and that matters for GDPR compliance. Your meeting notes are not leaving your machine. And this is worth something. This is exactly the kind of practical, privacy-conscious AI tool worth checking out, and it's exactly aligned with our channel and what we promote. It's not flashy, but it solves a real problem without surveillance. So, the distilled takeaway this week? AI is moving from answering questions to executing tasks. The skills gap is widening. Start simple, keep humans in the loop, know where your data goes, and if you're not experimenting yet, start today. If this was useful, please subscribe to the channel because I do this every week.